How could a small island nation conquer a quarter of the planet and then lose it all? Today we will walk the full path of the British Empire, from the first ship to its collapse and the remnants that exist even now. The British did not conquer the whole world at once. They acted in stages, and each region had its own tactics. North America, military power and resettlement in the 17th century, the English simply sailed there en masse to live. They founded colonies, such as Jamestown, displaced the native Indians, and fought the French for control of these lands. This is how they got Canada and the east coast of the modern United States. India, cunning and business. The private East India Company came here. Instead of open warfare, the British used the principle of divide and rule. They bribed local Indian princes, pitted them against each other, and created armies of local mercenaries, sepoys. India became the pearl of the empire because of spices, fabrics, and opium. Australia, hard labor and farming. When James Cook discovered these lands in 1770, Britain came up with a brilliant plan to transport criminals from overcrowded English prisons there. Later, the convicts built cities there, and free colonists turned the continent into a giant farm. Africa, industrial advantage and technology. At the end of the 19th century, Europeans began the scramble for Africa. Britain won it thanks to Hiram Maxim's machine guns and steamships. They seized territories from Egypt to South Africa to pump gold, diamonds, and rubber. The peak of power fell in the 1920s. But then everything fell apart. Why? Reason 1: bankruptcy after the wars. 2 world wars completely exhausted Britain. The country was in debt to the United States, the cities lay in ruins, and there was simply no money to maintain huge armies in the colonies. Reason 2: national liberation movements. The peoples of the colonies no longer wanted to obey London. In India, Mahatma Gandhi organized a peaceful protest, and in 1947, Britain was forced to grant independence to India and Pakistan. This was the beginning of the end. Reason 3: pressure from superpowers. After 1945, the United States and the USSR became the new leaders of the world. It was not profitable for both countries for Britain to remain an empire, so they put pressure on London, demanding that it liberate its colonies. During the 1950s and 1960s, almost all countries in Africa and the Caribbean gained independence. The last major point was Hong Kong, which Britain returned to China in 1997. Today, there is no empire, but officially Great Britain still has 14 overseas territories. 1. Most of them are small islands. Here are the most famous. Gibraltar, a strategic rock in the south of Spain, which controls the exit from the Mediterranean Sea. 1. The Falkland Islands, off the coast of Argentina, over which there was even a real war in 1982. 1. Bermuda and the Cayman Islands, world-famous financial offshores and resorts. 1. And even the British Antarctic Territory. 1. The inhabitants of these islands are British citizens, but have their own self-government. 1. In addition, there is the Commonwealth of Nations, an alliance of 56 independent countries, such as Canada or Australia, which still voluntarily recognize British culture, and some even have the British King as their symbolic head of state. 5. Final. This is how merchants and pirates created a monster that changed the whole world, gave the planet the English language, but later disappeared under the pressure of history. What surprised you the most? Write in the comments and subscribe so as not to miss new historical discussions.